My first question, of course, is to Tanalo, one of the market leader in bringing innovations. So, Ms. Alice Tonello, R&D Director. So, my question to you is, how can innovation accelerate the momentum of sustainability industry? And if you kindly share some of such new technologies from Tonello.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure. Of course, there cannot be innovation without sustainability. So innovation for sure is technology, in our case, that can reduce water consumption, can reduce the carbon footprint, so the energy, can give also a better works environment. So is strongly related. Answering to your question about the innovation that we have in Bangladesh today, I would like to say that there is a huge quantity of innovation, but we need to see the full picture. Just to give you an idea, we started to work with the
Yeah, sorry for interruption. We also welcome our another panel speaker, Mr. Fayez Murshid Kazi, to please come on stage. Yeah. So we have the pleasure to have among us Mr. Fayez Murshid Kazi, Director General Economic Affairs Wing, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So please, Alice, you continue. Yeah.
welcome. Yes, of course. So just to give you an idea, we started to work with the Bangladesh country more than 25 years ago. So there is a huge numbers of Tonello machines, is all high-tech technology produced in Italy. But as I'm trying to explain you, we have to see the full picture. So innovation is super important, but we need to think about also how to reuse, for example, the waste. How to reduce as much as possible or to reuse our water or to use renewable energy. This is strongly related. It's not just a matter of to use a laser machine. So innovation is something that we need to think about in a full picture in our company. Regarding the Tonello innovation, we are pushing a lot for the laundry revolution, simple, digital, and automatic. Few technology, high-tech technology, so laser, only one machine, can create a garment with a great look with just 10 liter, 15 liter. Something that normally in the past or also in some environment also takes 100 liter or 200 liter. Or another technology that we took the opportunity to launch here in this exhibition is garment dyeing, the garment dyeing technology using indigo. So it's going to give a great flexibility and can create a new look. Buying a machine is not just a matter of price. We need to see what the company can give in terms of innovation, relationship, and new solution.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So my next question is to Mr. Takar Asano, Senior Director, YKK Bangladesh PT Limited. So I think innovation not only needed in the manufacturing process, but also I think innovation is much needed across the supply chain. So my question to you is, how can the apparel buyers and manufacturers be partnering with to supply chain partners like the YKK to develop new innovative materials? So please share your insights.
Yeah, thank you for having me, first of all. Well, the joint development between the buyer and manufacturers like us, I think the trend right now, besides going sustainable is going digital. We experienced through the pandemic that actually when the border shuts down, we won't be able to travel. We won't able to present our development samples to the customers and so forth. So everybody had to work online, and it kind of proved that it's not as good as seeing people in person, but working online with the customer or development team does work to some degree. So we, as in YKK, through the pandemic, I was working out of New York. We were really close to the customer, designers, buyers, like within 10 kilometers, but we had to go online and jointly develop items with them. So we invested a lot to go digital, and we kind of acquired the capability to develop and promote our items jointly with our customers. And the buyers also saw the importance of going digital. So they're not fully back to 100% commute. They're allowing their employees to work out of home as well. So it's very, very important for manufacturers or the factories to fully go digital and capture the capability to promote or jointly develop the items together with the buyers. What it does to the supply chain is that it drastically reduces the innovative garment development cycle, because you can skip, physical proto sampling, shipping the sample to the customers, doing back and forth communication, waiting for the appointment to see them in person. So once you acquire the ability to go digital and jointly develop the items with the customers, you can significantly reduce the garment development cycle, and it'll be a huge innovation in the industry.
Thank you. Thank you for your insight. So my next question is to Dr. Professor Moman. So I don't know whether this question is a bit tricky. So my question to you is, why actually innovation is important for manufacturers? Is it important for profitability, for remaining competitive, or for simply retaining the buyers? So if you kindly share your insights.
Thank you very much. Uh, Innovation is a continuous thing, there cannot be a period for any company. A company which is 100-year-old should also continue to innovate. And there's no, I would say, there is no other shortcut to innovation. You have to continuously innovate to be in business. So I think when you ask the questions about are the manufacturers in the country are they innovating? I think the question is probably not properly understood. For example, a while back in the earlier session, we heard that Bangladesh RMG is one of the finest in the world. It's like an island, which is not, the rest of the country is not like that. What this industry is like. So that's because it's a center of excellence over here. So embracing innovation is also something very important. So what YKK is innovating, as a manufacturer, we have to accept that. What a denim manufacturer, machineries manufacturer is innovating to reduce the water usage, to make it more sustainable, or a fiber manufacturer is creating a blend. So as a manufacturer, when we adopt that, that is also important, and it's also very important to be in business and to continue. So you see, in Bangladesh, all of our manufacturers are sort of OEMs, like original equipment manufacturers. They don't own the brand. They're working for others. This is just a service that they're providing, or they're taking the raw material from point A to point B. It's like a conversion that they're doing. So innovation in the process may take place in these manufacturing businesses, but the ultimate thing is how the buyers look at innovation, how the ultimate consumers. You must have heard the other gentleman who is the dye stuff manufacturer, manufacturing indigo dyes for years. He was complaining, and I understand that fully, that you want the product which is made using hundreds of liters of water to have the same effect as which is making only with 14 liters of water. That's not going to happen. So there has to be, if the innovation has to be accepted by the factory, they also have to be accepted by the consumer. They have to embrace that. Okay, these are the inherent properties that come with this innovation or these changes. So to answer your question, every one of us are continuously innovating, whether in terms of a process or in terms of a product or in terms of reducing an ingredient or conserving the environment, etc., etc. So without innovation, none of us in this room can survive in the industry. So it has to continue, it has to go on, and that is what it is.
Thank you so much, sir. And taking note from your point that buyers also come forward to promote innovation, so we'd like to hear from the buyers. We have among us Moin Chaudhary, Country Manager Production, Bangladesh and Pakistan, Puma. And we know Puma is also very well known for the innovation and athleisure. So my question to you, how are the buyers encouraging innovation in the industry? And if you share some of the practices of Puma that has been contributing to accelerate the innovation.
Thank you very much, and very good afternoon to everyone. And thank you for inviting me on this panel discussion. And I'm honored to be, sharing the panel discussion with all these learned, colleagues at the moment. So before I go into my brand, I wanted to, being a Bangladeshi and being privileged to in the industry for three decades already. I have seen the innovation in all through, like not only in product, but also in starting from apartment building to the green building, and also in different like engagement in machineries, process. A lot of innovation has been already implemented, and that's how the industry is now today. It's a good matured industry where a lot of customer has all the confidence and then come across and place the businesses here. As a brand Puma, we are sourcing as a number one apparel from Bangladesh at the moment for last 2 years, and also we are heading for this year as well. Though the business is challenging in these years, we all know for different reasons. So in respect of the innovation, we actually work in a different segments. One, you can say in the processes, like where we work in digital platforms, where our water and product been developed, and also that's been communicated with our suppliers, and they participate and take parts on product development with the digital platforms, which is also a kind of innovation we feel as a process. And then in the product, what we do, one is like we have a very big design teams based in our headquarters in Germany and as well as in Boston. So these big gang of designers are working based on our calendars on a continuous basis, and that involved in fabrics and design aesthetics and everything, where we actually engaged our supplier as well to give their inputs, and then we combinedly develop those products, and then ultimately we sell it to our customers. So in that product, our suppliers are get involved, and that's also a part of innovation we felt. And then we work in the process improvement, like what we see in our, because being a global brand, we see, what the other manufacturing countries are doing actually in producing the product. It can be in machineries, it can be on the support machineries as well. So we share those ideas and what we have seen in the other production locations to our manufacturer here in Bangladesh, or sometimes we also share from Bangladesh better practices to other locations. So that's how we exchange the knowledge sharings and helps our manufacturer over across all the sourcing regions to develop the product innovations. So that's how normally we do. But as the topics are saying, like accelerating the innovation, that is the adjectives what we should look at this point of time, so that we have to adapt and also co-relate with the present needs, so that all our manufacturer can be a part of the growth and also the expectation from the brands. So that's how, I mean, we can work together and can build our better, I mean, sourcing location from Bangladesh. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my next question is, of course, to Mr. Fazle Shamim Ehsan, Vice President BKMEA. So we know that BGME and BKMEA is the apex state body of the manufacturers. So my question to have two parts. One is, what practical steps are BKMEA taking in promoting innovation? So part one. And part two is, what roles of buyers do you expect to see the innovation?
Thank you, Amar. Actually, innovation is a very big and vast word, and it's a continuous process because in our sector, we can think about innovation in production, in machineries, in procedure, in sustainability, environment. So it's a huge job, and from the beginning, if you think in 80s, how we used to sew a T-shirt, and now the situation. So every day we are changing. So we are adapting something, and something is innovated, and especially as apparatus is not a rocket science. So normally the people from our industries, our machine supplying country, so those are actually regularly developing some or some kind of things. But if you consider from the side of our association what we are doing, we don't have much to do, but we work as a mentor or as a guide. We are providing guiding to like we have. When I arrived, I was just hearing Momen Bhai. He is talking about the ACIP project from the ADB. It's funded by the ADB. So we have the similar project in our association. We are training up almost 25,000 workers and upskilling also, so they can be more innovative. I don't say innovative. They can be more trained and more productive, or you can say less or reduced wastage. So that's how they can actually do their job. So that's actually what we are doing. And other than this, we have an R&D center in BKMA where we provide some kind of technical issues where our factories worker or mid-management can get training and solve their small problem when they face on the process of making production. So these actually from the association side what we are doing, but we know that we have a very big opportunity to do something. But as per your second question, it's linked. Momen Bhai also answering in his question that buyers should have the mentality to accept this kind of innovation, because as you know, we are working as in buyer-driven market. So most of the order is coming as per their requirement. So we have very less opportunity to work ourselves. But whatever we have in the minimum space, we are working ourselves to reduce and go more innovative way to make our product. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would like to ask now Mr. Anders B. Carlson, Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of Denmark in Bangladesh. My question to you is, how can collaboration between industry players, policymakers, and other stakeholders foster innovation in the apparatus industry? If you kindly share your thoughts.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having invited me to be here today. It's my first Denim Expo, and also being reasonably new to the whole apparel industry in Bangladesh, I address you with some humility, and I'm amongst experts here, but let me do my best. I think it's clear that, as others have alluded to as well, innovation, what is it exactly? It's a very big word, but I think what we can agree is that given given our common understanding that resources globally are being depleted, we need to do something. And the apparel industry, I think we know is responsible for a significant portion of green gas emissions, and therefore there is a need to address that. And how do we do that? I think, as Alice alluded to, sustainability has to be a key component of the innovation when we try to address some of these challenges. And who can do that? I think there's no single player who can take upon them to do this. I think, of course, the industry needs to play a part. Maybe also the government as regulators, but also certainly, as has also already been mentioned, the consumers. We need somehow to persuade the consumers, the end users of the products, to maybe pay a little bit more for a product that has been produced in a more sustainable and green way. So how do we do that? In Denmark, where I come from, we're not afraid of using regulatory tools, banning certain products, setting standards for production. That's not always popular amongst the producers, the industries that naturally are looking for the most profitable way to produce their products. But I think there is a way forward by having a dialogue between all the players to get to the best results for a more green, more sustainable production. We try to focus in our work here when we advise Danish companies a lot on looking at green, sustainable supply chains, in not only in the apparel industry, but of course that is the main one here in Bangladesh, but also in general try to create that. I mean, Denmark has been engaged in cooperation and partnership with Bangladesh for 50 years, and I think, looking at where we came from, it's just very good to be here today and to see this. We had a chance to do a little tour of the expo before coming up here and see these really, really high tech and high motivated companies that are interested and willing and wanting to drive this innovation. So I think the foundation is there. We need to get the players together. We need the government to play its role as well, and the consumers as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anders B. Carlson. So my question is to now Mr. Fayez Murshid Kazi, Director General Economic Affairs Wing, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Yeah. So of course there is no denying that government support has been instrumental in the growth of Bangladesh apparel industry. But my question to you is, what role is the government playing in incentivizing innovation and sustainability in Bangladesh apparel industry? If you can share your thoughts.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, sorry for coming late, fashionably late, I would say. I'm not sure if I'm the right person to answer to your question about the apparel industry, but I didn't want to miss this amazing gathering. I've always seen videos of the Denim Expo, and this is my first time in person in such a gathering, so very happy to be here. If I have to summarize what the government is trying to do in terms of promoting innovation and sustainability, I think two words capture it the best: smart Bangladesh. I mean, that is the political slogan that is driving our whole innovation agenda. And when we talk about smart Bangladesh, we are not just looking at our digital competence. when we talk about creating a knowledge-based economy, which will be run by both data sciences and life sciences, where we will have a combination of both biotechnology as well as digital technology. And this is where probably the apparel industry can come in a big way. Just this morning, we were at a seminar which was about reviving the muslin. This is a project that the government had supported actively, not just reviving the yarn for muslin, but also the technology that was used, the indigenous technology that was used to create muslin. Before this, I mean, many of you are aware, it was the Bangladesh government which supported the genome sequencing of jute. The whole idea for that was to use jute in a multi-dimensional manner, in multi-diversified products. So these are kind of innovations the government, within its limited capacity, has been supporting for quite some time, and it would definitely be up to the apparel industry actors to join with us to see how we can take these things further ahead. Of course, our job as far as government is concerned is to help create kind of an innovation ecosystem. For that, again, from the government's perspective, what we would emphasize the most is industry-academia linkage. Because innovation is something that has to be driven by the private sector. The government cannot really go on investing in innovation. So we would be very interested actually to hear from BGMEA or BKMEA about the kind of cooperation that you may be thinking of with institutions like BUET or Butex. There are some other industries we know who are working with some of these institutions, but we are not quite sure if our apparel sector is kind of engaging in those kind of ventures. The government has set up some innovation grants, some startup funds and so forth, and trying to support research and development organizations, including by tax benefits. So if the government sees a good proposal for academia industry linkage, I'm sure we can join hands together to promote the innovation ecosystem. The second issue, of course, is upskilling or reskilling. I mean, we have to be mindful of the fact that automation is becoming a reality, and I think we are aware of statistics that, say, for example, the proportion of female workforce in our RMG industry is going down. And to a large extent, that is happening because there is more and more automation that is taking place. So we can't really act like an ostrich and behave that it's not happening. It's very much there. And again, we would like to work together with the industry to see how we can embrace these new technologies, these so-called 4IR technologies, to adapt them to our industry and try to kind of migrate our workers to other industries where such surplus labor can be gainfully employed. Skills development has now become, thankfully, the buzzword within our government circles. There are a number of initiatives which are going on. I mean, they of course need to get traction, but the government has recently created this National Skills Development Authority to coordinate the various work that is going on around skills development. And this is also another area where we need to work together with the industry and others to see how we can use our demographic advantage, but at the same time, not say no to automation and robotics and all these that are happening. Last point, intellectual property. Innovation cannot be fostered without intellectual property protection. As an LDC, we had the luxury so far not to invest much in intellectual property, but as we graduate, this is, of course, an area that would become a priority for us. So again, we'd be very happy to work together with our industry and research and development entities to see how we can foster the intellectual property environment. Lastly, Bangladesh is currently considered the 35th largest economy in terms of nominal GDP. But in the Global Innovation Index, the last one, we are probably 101 or something like that. This is not happy situation. The 35th largest economy on the world cannot lag behind on the innovation index as such. So here again, as far as the government is concerned, we look forward to working with our international partners and other stakeholders to see how we can actually realize our Honorable Prime Minister's personal vision for accelerating innovation towards a smart Bangladesh. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fayez Mushid Kazi, especially for the promise of collaboration from the government side for the academia and the industry bridge. So now the floor is open to the audience, and we'd like to take one or two questions from the audience. So if anybody have the question, please raise your hands. From the back side, the volunteers, if you kindly give the microphone. And before asking the question, if you kindly share your name of the organization, and also if you mention to whom actually you, in this panel, you made the question.
Okay, good afternoon. This is Masud Karim. I'm working in SGS Bangladesh Limited, so as a head of business development. So my question to actually in the brand leaders. So basically brands and manufacturing, so all are telling about the digitalization. So we understand manufacturing also wants to invest, they want to go to the digitalization, and brands also promoting to introduce, they also trying to introduction with the manufacturing's new innovations. So my question is, actually who will invest? Manufacturing wants to invest, but brands also pushing, they want to try to implement, but is it possible to jointly invest, or is there any options to support to manufacturing? But in the I want to add, Bangladesh government, finance ministry and the World Bank, they are trying to invest to the manufacturing. So they are giving the money, but is there any monitoring system to utilize the money perfectly? And manufacturing, they are using this money perfectly? So this is my questions to government also. Thank you.
So yeah, so I think the first, if Mr. Moin Chaudhary kindly answer the question, then of course we'll come back
Thank you
to
for
Mr.
your
Fayez.
questions. First of all, about the investment, whether it can be like both partnership of the brand and as well as the entrepreneur. So yeah, I mean, whatever we are doing as a brand, from our side, and also the, initiative we are taking with our partners, we call it partners. I mean, we are actually investing from the both side. I mean, we do our part, and we also encourage to do, from our entrepreneur part. So we are both hands in hand, to do the digitalization. That is very important, in with the demands, and also looking, in coming days, that is the important thing, we have to adopt. So we are working as a partner. Thank you.
Yeah, and also to Mr. Fayez Mushid Kazi. So always there is a question or skepticism regarding the spending on the fund from the government project, whatever monitoring is there or the results. So if you just touch upon this.
No, thank you. Monitoring is always difficult. It's kind of the Achilles heel for the government. But there again, I think we have the digital solutions that the Honorable Prime Minister herself also spoke about the other day when she was addressing group of engineers. She was saying that we now have artificial intelligence actually to strengthen system-wide monitoring. And going forwards, I think the Aspire to Innovate kind of projects that we have under the ICT division with UNDP's support, they're exactly kind of trying to develop these models as to how we can enhance monitoring and evaluation by using artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. So give us a bit of time. When we started the initiative of Digital Bangladesh, we all remained skeptic as to how far it would be successful. But the way we are seeing our younger generation of bureaucrats embracing these new technologies, I'm personally quite confident that the scenario would be changing in another 5 to 6 years.
Thank you. So last question we can only take from Sarotapa GIZ. Okay, so now we'll take, yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Good
Okay, we'll
evening.
take Sarotapa, your question also after
This is Arafat Hassan. I am working in the retailer, Bhanar BD. Actually, to see the accelerating innovation is the subject, is the largest position, as Mr. Shamim sir, Fadl Shamim sir said. I agree. But one question, sir. The innovations only come from garments R&D, or it should be innovated on all the industrial owners as well. Like, in our country, there is a mentality of the owner that, okay, we can only follow what our buyer is giving to us, and we are producing that. We don't have own creativity in our side, and they are very less interested to invest on R&D purpose. Okay, you said BKM has a portion to train them if they want. Basically, do any new thing that all the owners should have participated, and they learn how to make a R&D and how to relate the buyer R&D and make a new innovation in the garment trade. And second question, Honorable Minister, I'm sorry, but thank you. It's a good thing. Government is supporting garments everywhere. We know, even in COVID. But the main is, do we innovating in everywhere on the garments, like in customs, in port, in documents area, in banking sector? If you look after the bank interest, Bangladesh is the higher margin in the world, all over the world. India, Pakistan, Cambodia, they are giving less interest. Is this not variegated to our innovation? Thank you very much.
yeah, first Shamim sir, if you just, okay. So I think Fayaz sir already touched upon the digitalization, but also if you just share the whether we are still lag behind in implementing digitalizations or innovation in every sphere of the business.
This is, I'm not the right person to talk about this. But what I know that even, I think you mentioned the revenue departments, the taxation and customs authorities. They are actually working on automation. If you go onto their website, I'm sure there is some publicly available information on how they are trying to kind of upgrade their systems through automation. I know for sure that UNCTAD, the UN Conference for Trade and Development, they had actually worked very closely with our customs authorities in terms of automating the system in Chittagong Customs, in Chattogram Customs. They call this program Ayuskuda. Probably some of you are familiar with SI Kuda, yes. Thank you very much. So those systems are there in place, and I'm sure every government entity currently are kind of looking at ways to innovate in pursuance of the overall guiding policies of Smart Bangladesh. And as part of the fiscal governance issues, the fiscal governance reform issues that we are often hearing about, automation would again, of course, remain a driving force. So please, keep making your suggestions to the concerned authorities, especially the National Board of Revenue. They often engage with our business sector, and I'm sure they would continue to remain open to such suggestions. Their human resource remains an issue. Probably you have seen that they're currently contemplating even employing private agents to enhance revenue collection and so forth. So there are a number of innovations that are being contemplated upon. I cannot give you a very succinct response to this, but again, let us not lose hope. Let us remain engaged in these conversations, and I'm sure moving together, we can take the whole system towards greater efficiency. Thank you.
Yeah, and the question to Shamim sir is, are the manufacturers always follower from the buyer's directive or also proactively taking initiatives for the innovation?
First of all, I would like to give a big thanks to the questionnaire because it's a very nice question actually he asked. I do 100% agree with you. Yeah, this is not only the responsibility of buyer, it's also the responsibility of a manufacturer to work or invest on innovation and regularly do R&D in their factory. And it's true that many of us actually not investing our financial involvement in this R&D, but it is a good news that some of our factories already started R&D, especially the big factories, and they are providing their own design, own product. Even they are providing, submitting some of the new product, totally new product to the buyers also. But still, the percentage is low, but we are coming up. Thank you. Thank you for the question.
Question from the Sarataba, yes.
Hi, I'm Sarwat Ahmad, working for GIZ. We are representing German government, and we are working along with the Bangladesh government in different development project of ready-made garments industry and textile industry, to some extent leather industry as well. So my just an information to the Director General Economic Affairs Wing, that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that we are working with the collaboration between the industry and the academia. We have been working with Buatex and some other university where we are coming up with the things that is designed the curricula from the German university, and German university professors are coming, and there are some high-profile German university having collaboration with the Bangladesh university, so that we can come up with some interesting curricula which will help students to work in the industry, as well as we are also coming up with some short courses for the persons who are working in the industry who can come and work. So that was one information I just wanted to give you. So another thing is that when we are talking about the government, I can remember back in 2011 and 2012, we used to work with BGME and BKMEA to expand the market to new and emerging market. And we went to Latin America, Russia, Japan, and from Latin America, Brazil was a very promising country. We're now, after like 10 years, trying to find out the result. So at that time, any factory who is coming to the new and emerging market, government used to give the cash back for first 3 years, 5%, 4%, 3%. So my plan, my request to you is that since you are heading the economic affairs wing from the foreign ministry, is there any way you can help the big industry who are already working with the innovation? Because we have been working with the industry for a long time, and there are many, many big factories coming up with the innovation regarding blue, denim, washing, design, and all. There are many factories, I should say, we have seen by our own eyes. So is there any possibility that you can come up with some, like government can come up with some idea where we can collaborate along with from ourselves, we can also support. We give the technical support to help the innovation. And the last thing, but not the least, is that with having the position you are having the position you're holding right now, you can also help us, the development agency like us, to work more effectively with the government, because we are facing some sort of problems, and I don't want to go detail in that, but we are always here to help the Bangladesh governments to come up with interesting ideas. We have been working, but there are some hiccups. We would like to get your support from that. Thank you for the industrial, very amazing panel here. It was a very lovely conversation. Thank you.
Mr. Fayez Murshid Kazisa, if you would like to touch upon some of the... Sure.
No, there was no such question, but thank you very much for the information and the suggestions. I would particularly note that GIZ and ILO have supported in launching the employment injury insurance scheme last year on a pilot basis. which is a very good development as far as the government is concerned, and we appreciate GIZ for doing that. Thank you for the continued interest in working together with us. Please feel free to come over anytime. Our doors are always open. We can definitely have some discussions on some of the ideas that you wanted to share. Thank you very much.
Yes, please.
I'd like to take this opportunity because we have the foreign ministry representation here. We have our friends from the EU. And I think that, and also in the audience we see GIZ. So what I think, the donors, they can come up with, if you want to really drive innovation in this country, in this sector, then what sort of a product is actually needed or demanded in the country where we are going to sell our products, that must be known to our innovators here. So I see that there is a lack of understanding of the market. And I see there is also a lack of understanding of how we present Bangladesh. So if you go to a private sector enterprises showroom, you can see it's a like you see this show here, it's a world-class show. But if you want to see the same show in one of our embassies in Europe or America, we don't see that. So why can't our embassies there be exactly a showcase of the products that we do in all the sectors? That way, the way we brand Bangladesh, it will be perceived differently. We can only brand Bangladesh to the people who are here visiting us, the customer who are visiting us. There's a huge audience out there which we haven't reached. So our embassies can be our sales offices all over the world to do a job for us. This is something I would urge the foreign ministry to do, and to take sort of the lesson from this shows like this, to put up a show like that. And not only this, also maybe give a by turn responsibility to our highest exporters to man those shows, man those institutions on behalf of the government to continue to do that. But they will be doing a different job, I believe. So this is a suggestion the foreign ministry can take, number one. And number two is that the kind of products that we make, you want to drive innovation here, so the market is there. So the designers must understand what is our capabilities and how we can actually use this and to innovate a product, even using our indigenous raw materials. So that way the donors can make a bridge here to bring in the products, the design team over here to be here, stationed here, and to develop products that will be eventually be used in the market. And one last thing, as a factory manufacturer, what we see, we come up with an innovative product, we go to a buyer's presentation, and then they say, okay, fine, you have done a product that is nice, but you see, we are not buying this in Bangladesh. Our policy is not to buy these products here. And those policy decisions are not taken by a buyer or a buying manager. These are dictated in the board. So we have to change the perception of the boards that this is what Bangladesh is capable of. So both the donors and the foreign ministry can bridge this gap by showcasing what Bangladesh is really is, for them to understand that what is product. Because we are being labeled, okay, these are the products that can be made in Bangladesh, these are the products that we make in Turkey, in China, in other parts of the world. So these are not for Bangladesh, although we have developed the capabilities to do that. So my suggestion since this is an opportunity I'm taking, to these two groups, to actually use this platform. I'm using this platform to, sort of voice this thing for all of you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir, for your important suggestion. And for the information of all, you may know that Bangladesh Apparel Exchange, in collaboration with the Embassy of Netherlands, Bangladesh Embassy in Netherlands, organizing Best of Bangladesh show in Amsterdam, September. And the very idea of the show is taking the best of the companies in the Europe and also attracting the best of the buyers there. So we hope with that effort we'll also get the support from the development partners and also person like you. And with that note, we'd like to conclude our today's session, and thank you so much for your valuable insights. Would like to request to have a group photo, and also like to request Mr. Mustafizuddin, founder of Denim Expo, to join the group photo.